Okay, next in this section, we want to take a look and focus in on the output, make sure we understand what we're looking at. So once you have all your selections ready here on your table that you want to review, you want to check this to your maximum number of hits. You may want to put some filter in there of some values when you want to use, or if you're trying to look at a whole specific selection, you may just want to make sure that this is blanked out then. I'll go ahead and do that now. And then go ahead and execute this online, or you can do it in the background if you want to submit a background job. But we want to look at it online. It should be a relatively small selection for us. And it comes back, okay, and you can see there we've got our 8,689 entries against this table, and all the various data that we'll see here in the system. So menus from the top, if we look at this, not a whole lot available here. Table entry, edit, you can refresh. Same thing here, refresh the selection, go to, and then your typical system options here. Okay. Likewise down here, this could be helpful. You can display your selection criteria in case you're in here for a while and you think, oh, I might have forgot something. Rather than rerunning the selection and it taking a while to get it back again, you can just click on that button there and see what exactly you had entered in the selection criteria. Okay, so now in here the majority of what we want to look at is then the output. You've got your bar, you can kind of scroll back and forth and look at all the entries here, which is great. So instantly you should be able to see, okay, I've got everything now in this nice looking Excel type format, spreadsheet format here, many entries, 8,689 entries versus when we were in the sales order before reviewing this. Just think we were doing it one at a time, how long it would take us to review over 8,000 sales orders versus now you can review it all and do your analysis right here almost instantly. So it's much quicker. Now if I do want to look and see at a particular record, I can always select that record and view the details on it. And again, it will drop that specific record into a column or format here for me, where then I can just kind of scroll up and down and look at the field and the value and any of the field technical attributes of it. Okay, so this is great for individual records and a little quicker for reviewing one record. Okay, outside of details, other things going to be similar to reports that you might use. You can always drill in on a record this way too and look at the details on it. Okay, and then you can always sort. So let's say sorting, ascending or descending orders. If I wanted to break things down and say, let me see, in this case by user, but some particular value, let's say I just want to sort on that. And of course you can sort on, multiple fields here too. Okay. And then let's say I wanted to search for records, so I can always find some particular records too. So let's say I want to search on a particular date, 05, 09, 2011, okay. And it'll display that one hit up there in the top. You can see 05, 09, 2011, okay, and look at that, okay. And now, for minor changes in your selections, this is something you can use the filter button. So I can set filter criteria. Let's say I do want to filter out some particular type of document that I have in here. You can click on that. It'll bring up this filter button, okay? And there you can see all the document types that were in my selection. And this would be the same for any column. It's instead of showing you everything in the system, it's going to show you everything in your selection. Okay, so now I maybe just want to exclude, okay, CRs, for this selection. So it's kind of a decision here. You can see, oh, I could have done this on my original selection too. Why would I do it here instead of there? This may be a time where you want to say, I've got this general selection that I run normally, but for this one time, I want to filter this out. Or maybe there's certain things like not related to a document type, more like individual values or dates or something in your selection you just want to get rid of, or only see certain values. You can do it here on the filter criteria too, in addition to your original selection. So as much as possible, I like to get rid of things on the original selection screen because I'm going to select a lot more or a lot fewer entries and performance will be better. Filtering down here, this is normally what I do then to kind of fine tune things. Or you can bring everything in here to the table and then filter it out here. But if you're bringing in millions of records, you can see you got to wait longer and longer. There's always this performance thing. Okay. So certain things too, net values, I may want to come in here and sum and look at totals, and I can even break down the values then here and do subtotals. So maybe I want to subtotal, off of a user too here who created them, and then I can see my net value total as well as my subtotals by who's been entering these. Okay. That might give you some ideas for subtotaling, on dates or all kinds of different criteria, but mainly for amount values. Okay. Once you get everything in your output how you like it and done and filtered, you can always come in here too. Let's say even I want to get rid of columns. There's nothing in here I can see. So you just select the columns, okay, and then right click. And then I can hide. There's other things you can do, but let's say I want to get these out of here. Okay, they're not important to my selection. You get everything how you like it. And then I can print this off. Okay. I can change it over to Excel if I want. If I don't like this format, I can send it to a list. Okay, rather than this type of grid type format. And then finally, and how I use this a lot is I can export it. If it's not a lot of entries, 50,000 or so or less, I might drop it to spreadsheets. That way I've got a local copy for further analysis. If I want to do some pivot tables or other type of analysis, I can send it out to spreadsheet and bring it into Excel. I can just send it out to a local file too. If you're exporting large amounts of data, millions and millions and millions of records, then local file is handy because you can drop it out to a local file and then import it into Access or another local database that you can then continue to work on it. And you've got a few other options here too. Okay. So additionally, now this is choose layout, change layout, save layout, and even manage layouts. So you can see that, I added in the filter, I sorted it, I hit a couple columns. So if you're getting the data down as much as you can, filtered and just looking exactly like you want it, and then you drop it out to Excel or whatever, and you do this frequently, just like a report, you may want to come in here and save this layout, okay? And I could just give it my own name, ZVBach, layout 1, and just give it a name, and I'm going to make it user specific, okay? And then just save this layout, okay? Oops. And then whenever I come back in here and run this selection again, let's say, for example, I had got rid of, 50 columns and pulled out a whole bunch of filters. Rather than have to redo that every time, now I can just come in here and just choose my layout. And then there's only one here, but I just pick it, and it automatically does all that work for me. You can see, so it's a big time saver. Okay, you can always even go back in and change that layout too. Pick the ones that you want to get rid of. Maybe I don't care. I want to get rid of order reason or whatever else I can get rid of once you make all those changes. Adding them to this one on the left will bring it into the output. and moving it over to the right will get rid of it in the output. And some of the same things we saw on screen, you can change here too, as far as the sort order, filters, in any type of view, that you want to use. I like the list viewer, so we'll stick with that. Save it, and then your layout changes are made. Okay. And that's the general output. So you want to run a few selections, get familiar with the output. This is all display only, so you can't really hurt anything. Try bringing it out to spreadsheets. Make sure that you can save it locally. And I think you get very comfortable with this. And we're going to go through a bunch of examples and exercises so that you are comfortable with the analysis. And we'll kind of progress now from getting comfortable with the tools into doing data analysis so that you become more of an expert at this type of functionality. Okay, thank you.